So what is Traveler's Notebook? Let's chat. If you have been a member of Planner community even for 5 minutes, I'm sure you have ran into a Traveler's Notebook. You either heard that term mentioned or you've seen something like this on an Instagram post, on a YouTube, and you wondered, what is it? What is a Traveler's Notebook? What makes a notebook a Traveler's Notebook? And why are they so different? So let's start from the start. So in 2006, Midori company came out with Traveler's Notebook, and it was one of the arms of Midori company. And what Traveler's Notebook was pretty simple. It was something that looked like this. Unfortunately, I don't have the original type of notebook. Unfortunately, I don't have the original Midori type notebook here, but this one is pretty similar, and so is this one. And basically it was something like this. It was a rectangular piece of cowhide leather, and it was just plain leather, kind of like that. It had elastic band on an outside to hold it together and closed. It had another elastic band on the inside, looped in a way that it gave you one bigger loop, one smaller loop to hold 1 to 2 notebooks. It had a little brass closure here to hide the end of the elastic that came out outside, and on the inside 1 or 2 notebooks were fed into elastics like this one right here. And you could have 2 of them. You can have just 1 if you wanted. There are also things called connecting elastics, and they were kind of like this, where you can fit them into notebook and attach another notebook to that. So you could have, anywhere from 1 to maybe 4. Some people managed to have even 6 inside. And these notebooks came in lined, plain, square paper, and you could use them for notes, for journaling, to keeping track of your travels, and creating collages, whatever your heart desires. And the simplicity and beauty of the Traveler's Notebook is that it was very simple, and it could be anything you need it to be. It could be a planner, it could be a journal, it could be a travel log, it could be, you can track your finances in there. Over time, people figured out how to use it in so many different ways. And after a few years, it became so popular that other companies decided to make their own version of Traveler's Notebooks. At first, they were basically done in the same size, like the original one, which is called standard size, this long size. There was also a passport size, which was shorter and basically would be around this size. Again, this is not Traveler's Notebook, but you get the idea. And then from there, companies saw, oh wait, maybe we can use the same system to house bigger notebooks. We can have a pocket size notebook like this one, or like this one. We can have thicker notebooks in there, so then you have covers that fit notebook as big as this one. We maybe don't have a rubber band enclosure and we give it a clasp, and so you get something like this, which looks like a regular journal cover or notebook cover, but it does have elastics inside to house your other notebooks and inserts. And as the culture of the TN, as it named for short, for Traveler's Notebook or TN, there are different inserts that start springing up. You got inserts that were like wallets, you got inserts that would call business cards. So let's take a closer look at Traveler's Notebook now. So as I mentioned, the design of original TN was basically a rectangular piece of leather. It was a cowhide, and it was no frills. There was no pockets or nothing. It was literally just like that. Plain piece of leather, cut rectangularly, and it had a hole here, a couple holes here to thread all the elastics, and everything basically was a custom system that could be rejigged however you felt like it. On the original TN, there is a different charm here to hide the ends of the elastics that come out on this side, to keep them away from the inside. And then you would get inserts, and inserts were and are notebooks that look like this. Sometimes they're stapled like this one, sometimes they're stitched like this one. And the stitch ones are better because sometimes the ones that are stapled, the staples get caught in the elastics, because you would fit elastic through the middle of the notebook. So when you have a stapled one like that, even if you can find them for better price, they might get stuck in your elastic. So let me show you here. So to create your Traveler's Notebook, you would take your inserts and fit them through elastics like this one, and like this one here. And let me take them out so you can see how it looks like without the inserts. So here basically how the inside of TN would look like. You would have one single long elastic threaded through these holes, 2 holes here and 2 holes here, and they would create one longer piece and one shorter piece. One longer piece is intended for you to fit your one notebook through, but you are also able to fit the second one through here. As you saw, I had 2 notebooks in here, and what you can also do if you want to fit more than 2, you can use connecting bands, which would look something like this, and you would thread notebooks to each other and then add additional ones. So let me show you how it's done. For example, you can use it to thread 2 of your notebooks through this one elastic band. So you would get your notebooks, you get your connecting band, and you would fit it this way through one, then through another. You can also do it through the back pages, but I do it through the middle. So then they will end up something like this, and then you will fit it through the elastic band here. And so this way you have your 2 notebooks hanging off of just one elastic band, and so you don't have that weird difference when you're trying to fit a bigger notebook to the smaller piece. And then you have your 2 notebooks. Looks pretty nice. And then again, if you want to connect yet another notebook and you don't want to fit it through here, you can connect another elastic band. So you would go and put it into the first one here, and then you would grab your next insert like this one, find your middle, and then you would, so let me put it the correct way, and you would fit it in here, and then you have 3 inserts all basically hanging out off of one single elastic inside, and it still looks pretty good. But you can see, of course, with 3 already they kind of start sticking out, so the more inserts you add, the more kind of out of control they get, because it is designed to basically fit about 2 inserts, because as you use them, as you add ephemera to them and so on, they do grow in size, and so those 2 pretty thin inserts will actually get chunkier over time and will fill your cover to the brim. But as you can see, you can easily have 3 inserts here all hanging off of one elastic band. If you don't want to do this kind of connect to connect to connect kind of deal, you can always fit it through here, but as you can see, obviously it's shorter, so it will be a tighter fit. Just be aware of that. And as far as the inserts themselves, so inserts, there are so many of them now. The basic ones I would say would be your plain notebook. You have your line notebook. This notebook right here is actually a calendar, monthly calendar, as you can see. And then you of course will have a notebook that's graph paper like this one, which is my personal favorite, and you will have different line ones. So the line one I showed you before was solid line, this one is a dotted line, and of course you will have inserts that are completely plain. Let me see what's in here. Yeah, so you will have a completely plain inserts that have nothing on them. You also have inserts that are made out of craft paper. You have a dot grid ones. So, and then of course people now make inserts that are for budgeting. They have inserts that are weekly calendars. They have vertical and horizontal. There are so many of them, and that what makes TN is such a beautiful system that you can truly put a planner together that has everything in it that you need. I myself discovered TN for that exact reason. I went through several planners, just regular planners that are all already pre-designed and pre-filled with the content that creator of the planner found useful. And even though I thought it was great and some of the pages worked fantastic for me, some of the pages were useless and I found myself skipping through them. And so I started looking for something that I can customize and make it what I need it to be, and that's when I came across Traveler's Notebook, a system where, as I show you, you can put planner together that will have whatever you need. Do you need monthly calendar? You got it. You want, plain paper to follow that so you can sketch? You got it. You want to have graph paper after that for studies or to do your budget? Of course. That's such a genius idea that made people fall in love with it. It's such a simple, such a minimalist concept, but it is so customizable and can be so many things to so many people. And as the planner became popular, the company that was a division of Midori actually decided to rename themselves into a Traveler's Notebook company, and that's what these are now get released under. So when you have an old style one, it will say Midori on the corner on the back here, and if you have a newer one, it will say Traveler's Notebook Company on the back. As I mentioned, as these became more and more popular, other companies jumped on the bandwagon and started making their own versions of Traveler's Notebook. As I mentioned, this one is a standard size. So the measurement of this one is, let me grab my bracelet here. So it is about 4.5 inches wide, a little bit longer, and about 8 3/4 of an inch long. This particular one is made by company ZLYC. I found it on Amazon. I loved this embossed kind of leather, and I like that it was matte. So I got that one. I've had it for forever and ever. And then the beauty of TNs is also you can actually make one yourself. So like these two, I made them with my dad. I gave him the little tools, and because he's very handy and crafty, and so he created these again because the concept is so straightforward. You get a rectangle piece of leather and you punch holes to thread your elastics. This one I decided not to go all fancy like this with a charm outside. I left the knots for elastics inside, both for the one that holds it enclosed and the ones that holds the notebooks themselves. When I thread them, I decided to make my holes a little bit closer to the end, so then this inside one is a little bit longer than usual, so I can fit this inside. And it's really fun because you can find different kinds of leather that otherwise you won't find that TNs in, and create your own. So like this one I really like because this was so smooth and this nice sagey color. And then I saw this one, and it was basically like a croco, but it's more like a brick kind of pattern, and it's also orange, so I thought it was pretty cool. And again, I did similar thing here. I did black elastics here, brown elastics here, and put inserts, a standard insert. And the beauty of this is that if you find a TN, no matter who it's made by, if it is standard size, you can use standard inserts in it. So you can interchange, you can have several TNs and the inserts will fit in all of them because they are all made to the same size. So that's really the beauty of the system, because no matter whose cover you use, if you know that it's a standard size, you can go and find other inserts and they will fit. Now, as many companies start creating their own TNs, they start also modifying the sizes, sometimes slightly, sometimes more obviously. For example, this notebook here is created by company Pauper. I love them because they create such an inexpensive writing supplies. So if you're looking for any notebook, bullet journal, or Traveler's Notebook, they create a version of it, and that is very affordable, and I appreciate that about them. So they have created this, sorry for the noise, they call it Voyager Notebook. So instead of Traveler's Notebook, they call it Voyager Notebook, and they have it in several colors, and I got a black and this powdered blue because they were both so pretty and I couldn't decide which one, so I got both. I haven't opened them yet, but let's open one of them so we can take a look. So as you can see, the design is very similar to that of the original TN. The difference that I see is that This little hole that holds the elastic for the enclosure has a rivet in it, so it doesn't tear over time. You have a charm that's slightly different, obviously. You also have like this page saver little leather strap here that holds a rubber band from basically eroding the sides of your cover, so I think it's very thoughtful. Let's open it up. Another beauty of it, it comes with several inserts. It shows you which ones they are on this page here, which obviously is removable. You get really cool, you get this vinyl insert that has opening here, and then on the other side it's a zip pocket, and then you also have paper inserts here which are lined. You have a dot grid one and you have a plain one. Very generous offer considering that this whole thing, I believe when I got it, I think it was like $29, so under $30 for all of this. It's obviously not a leather, so again, if you don't want to have a leather cover, that's a great choice for you as well. But I appreciate the thought behind creating this full package to go with such an affordable price. And actually, oh my god, I just realized when I got it, it was $10.99, so I stayed corrected. $11 for all of this. I mean, you cannot beat that. Now, one thing to know about Voyager Notebook, because it is created as their own product and it looks like a standard, it actually is not. So the inserts for the standard notebook will not work in this notebook, and let me show you what I mean. Even if you just take the two planners and you overlay them over each other, you see the difference between the two. That's how much shorter this one is, and because of that, it has its own inserts that are designed just for this specific notebook. As you can see, they fit really well. These inserts are too long, they will not fit, and you can see you will basically have to cut them to be able to use them if you get standard ones. So that's, I guess, one drawback of having this type of notebook, because then you are kind of stuck buying the refills that designed specifically for it. But again, they obviously are understanding of that, and as I mentioned, it already comes with 3 inserts including vinyl pocket, and then they have other inserts like here. When I originally got it, I also got a calendar refill and also got a dot journal together with it to have it as a bullet journal, for example. But at any rate, I think it's a great little find if you want to try Traveler's notebooks and you don't know if it's a thing for you or not. I noticed for me, sometimes I don't like when pages are too long versus really narrow like this one. So this one is a little bit more on the shorter side, so your page is kind of leaning towards more regular page size. And so again, if really long skinny pages is not your thing, this one might be a nice bridge between the two. So while some companies like Peter Pauper created their own TNs and you were kind of stuck with the inserts of their specific size, other companies kind of went the other direction and wanted to create TNs that could accommodate anyone. So for example, Carpe Diem here, they've created this Traveler's Notebook. This one is in color typewriter circles. I got it because I love this minty blue. And on here they said that this one fits both standard and wide inserts. So this one actually is A5 size. So if you have your standard A5 notebook, that is about the size of this cover. But as you can see, as far as the length, it is as tall as the standard notebook. So it does fit the inserts that work for this notebook. So if you have a bunch of inserts and you want something bigger, you want a bigger cover, you can use these standard inserts from this notebook in here. And in addition, you can also use inserts that are A5 size. So let's open it up real quick. As you can see, this particular notebook comes with its own insert. It is wider than your standard one, but it's basically almost like A5 notebook. Instead of being just your basic Traveler's notebook, it's trying to give you even more. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets here. It has a pocket on this side as well, your secretarial pocket right here. It has this back pocket here, so if you have a notebook that you want to insert in the back rather than hanging it on the strings, you can do that. It also offers you a pen loop. It's elastic, so you can fit thinner or thicker pens in here. And as you can see, this time it has 2 elastics here, and then you have 2 elastics here as well. So now instead of having one main elastic for couple notebooks, you actually have space for 4 notebooks easily, and then if you want to thread them together and put even more, you can do that as well. And you have all the pockets and you have a pen loop. So this particular cover is trying to give you even more than your regular one. So it's kind of interesting to see the directions that makers start heading, trying to create their version of TN, going from your classic, really basic, just leather with some elastics, to this more elaborate version of having, yes, elastics, just like before, elastics inside, but also additional pockets for you, pen loop, this one to hold your stickers or receipts, and you can put larger inserts in here, not just your standard one. You can probably just take a regular A5 notebook and fit it in here as well if you wanted to. So as I mentioned, Traveler's Notebook didn't create just a standard size. They also created a passport size notebook, and it is what it sounds like. It was designed to fit a passport, your passport when you're traveling, and a notebook or two to make notes, to keep mementos and memories when you were traveling. People take these to just another level. It's beautiful work of just pasting all the ephemera you collected along your travels, journaling, posting in photos. They are beautiful. So as the passport size TNs became really popular, same thing happened. Other creators and manufacturers start making their own version of passport TN. So just for comparison, I have the standard size TN here, and here are some of the Traveler's Notebook covers that I got over time from different makers. So this one here is Passport Plus from Chic Sparrow, and because it is a plus model, it is actually made to fit a lot of inserts. Here is a standard passport size insert. As you can see, the cover is a little bit taller than it, so it can fit it comfortably, and then you can have like tabs or charms hanging from the bottom. And as you can see how wide the cover is, because you want to be able to fit a whole bunch of these in here, including thicker notebooks as well. You will see that this cover has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rubber bands here to fit these many inserts. And as other makers, they try to, if you may improve on the original cover, which is also just a rectangular piece of leather, by adding pockets here, a secretarial pocket here, and a pen loop here. Just like the regular TN, it does have the elastic enclosure that goes across to keep it closed. It doesn't have a charm, you only have your elastic bands here. Another take on a Traveler's Notebook cover is this one from September Leather. Now, as you can see, this one is different because it has a spine, and because it has a spine, it creates a better structure to keep a lot of insert inside. When you open it up, as you can see, it has 4 elastics to fit this size of insert, and you can put 4 of them in here, or if you use connecting bands, you can put even more. Just like the Chic Sparrow, it has some pockets here, it has another pocket here, so you can, if you don't want to use elastic, you can also insert your notebook into the back cover. And it also has a pen loop here. This one is all leather, so it will only hold the insert that is of that size. And just like all TNs, it has an elastic band to keep it closed. And here is probably the most complex, fanciest version of passport size TN. This one is from Moterm, and I call it Moterm Companion, and it is designed strictly for passport size inserts, whereas this one will actually fit a slightly taller insert, like a pocket size. So is this one. This one is true passport size. As you can see, the inserts here are basically just a 1 millimeter off the size of it, and it doesn't have your elastic band that closes it. Instead, it has this clasp like your classic ring planner covers has, but when you open it inside, you will see that it is a TN. It has elastics inside to hold your notebooks, and this one has 4 elastics plastics. And right now I have all kinds of inserts on here. I actually have a really thick notebook, not one of these, but this thick notebook here that has, I believe, 400 pages in it. I have the craft folder that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and this one is really cute because you can keep your cards, business cards, you can even keep stickers or whatever you need. And then there is an insert here, the similar one you saw in Carpe Diem. This one is, or in Peter Pauper, this one is plastic insert that can hold your receipts or tickets, credit cards. And on this side it has this zippered pouch. And yet another insert is this wallet insert with a zipper and a pocket here. So as you can see, there are so many different inserts that have been developed over time to fit your traveler's notebook that you can truly make them whatever you want. This particular traveler's notebook is designed to be basically a wallet, what they call it EDC, everyday carry, something that is your planner, your wallet, your everything. You can see that this one has the secretarial pocket here, it has a pocket here, another one here for your credit card, has a little zipper if you need to put coins. It has a bunch of credit card pockets here, another one here, another secretarial, and you know, the best part, it has this giant pocket in the back so you can put your receipts, bills, whatever you need. And it also has a pen loop. So basically this one is like a TN on steroids, if you may, because even though it used some concepts of a traveler's notebook, as in its flexibility, your elastic bands on which you can construct whatever, you know, type of planner you want, it also acts as a regular planner cover because it offers you so much more than just a regular TN. It's trying to satisfy, you know, your kind of every need you can possibly have for a pocket planner plus wallet plus organizer of your life. And of course, as people got their standard and passport TNs, they wondered, well, can we fit something slightly bigger than this? And so the pocket TNs were born. Here are 4 different TNs, traveler's notebook covers that are all in about a pocket size. In the world of planners, not everything is 2mm exact to each other as long as it basically fits the insert that you need. These are all technically pocket covers, but you can see if I can compare them. This one is slightly taller than this one, and this one is slightly shorter than this one. These two are about same size, yet they all are able to fit pocket inserts. And what am I talking about pocket inserts? It will be your field notes, it will be your pocket moleskines, anything that has word pocket in it will technically fit in a pocket cover. Now of course be careful because not every pocket notebook is the same. For example, Moleskine Pocket and Electrum Pocket are not the same. Electrum Pocket notebook, which is in here, is actually as tall as A6 versus if we take Moleskine Pocket, which is in here, and just compare them to size, as you can see, Electrum is taller. So this is something to keep in mind when you picking your TN covers for your notebooks. It might not necessarily fit the insert that you might think is a technically pocket. So here what we have are 4 different makers. Traveler's Notebook Company does not make pocket-sized cover. They only have passport and standard. That's been true for all the years that they've made these covers. They stay true to their sizes. They only work in those 2 sizes. So if you want something taller but not as tall as standard, pocket cover might be your answer. So what we have here, this cover is from Carpe Diem. This one is technically, they call it pocket/passport cover. So if you want, you can actually still fit your passport in here. It's obviously tall enough, but if you want a pocket notebook, you can fit it in here as well. It is not just your regular rectangle piece of leather. It does have a lot of pockets in here. It has 4 elastic bands. They are spaced, so then you can put thicker notebooks here and they're not gonna run into each other. There's a little bit of a pen loop, more like for the pen clip, and it has your classic elastic band to enclose it. And this size will fit your pockets like Moleskine. It will also fit a pocket like MD notebook here. As you can see, perfect size. You can fit it through elastic, or you can simply fit it into the back pocket and it will fit like that as well. And then you just close it and you put your elastic band and you're ready to go. Then another one here is from Chic Sparrow. Chic Sparrow makes covers in all kinds of sizes. They make it from really teeny tiny ones to passport to pocket to A6, A5, B6. They cover basically every size. So this one is one of their pocket covers. It's really pretty and it has all the additional things that we kind of learned to love. It has pockets here, it has a pocket to insert notebook, secretarial here, pen loop, and 4 elastic bands. And your enclosure elastic band has this beautiful white stitching. This one here is from Gathered and Sewn. This one is a pocket size. It's made out of this really nice pliable soft leather. It has folio pockets on each side, so you can fit notebook in here like I did with this one, or put it on elastic bands. There are 4 of them here, and it has also white stitching and your classic TN enclosure. And the last one here is technically a folio, not really a TN, but it does work like TN in a lot of ways. And this one is from Extra Leather Shop. I got this one from their store on Etsy. And this one is designed specifically for Moleskine Daily. Moleskine Daily is really thick because it has page per day plus extra pages. And this one is actually thick enough that it fits Moleskine Daily and Weekly all at the same time. It has a folio pocket on the back and on the front to fit both of them, or just fit one, however you want. Or, you know, in this side you can fit your passport, or you can put stickers. And then it has an elastic band to enclose it, to hold them closed this way. You can also choose not to use it and just use it as a cover. And as you can see the difference in sizes, the pocket is basically about 2/3 of the size of your standard cover. And as I mentioned, because Traveler's Notebook Company does not make pocket, if you need inserts for these type of covers, it will be coming from Moleskine, it will be coming from Leuchtturm. Million shops on Etsy create beautiful inserts and pocket size of whichever kind you want, including calendars and just dotted and gridded and lined. Whatever you want, you can find to put in these beautiful covers. And the last but not least are A6 covers. Again, they are created in a very similar style and method as regular standard TN. You have your elastic bands on the outside, you have your elastic bands on the inside. This particular one is actually kind of a hybrid. It is a TN on the outside, but inside is just a folio, so you insert your notebook in here. This one is by Chic Sparrow. This one is by Foxy Fix. Unfortunately, they are no longer in business, but this one was designed as your standard TN. You have your elastic, you have 4 elastics inside, and they give you an additional pen loop, secretarial pockets here, and a couple pockets on here, so you can fit something like Hobonichi Techo in here, size A6, or any A6 notebook that you might have. So here you go, a little walkthrough what the Traveler's Notebook is and what TN is all about and what goes into it and different sizes that you can find it in. Hopefully this video was helpful for you and answer some of your questions or maybe curiosities. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know which one of these did you like the most, what size is your favorite, and what maker is your favorite. Are you an avid TN user, or are you more into pre-planned, pre-printed planners? Let me know. I'd like to hear from you. And if you like this kind of videos, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. You take care. Bye.